Amen.
Amen.
So we're actually addressing a question.
Odpovedáme teraz na jednu otázku.
The question that we're trying to address
A tá otázka
is, could Christ have come in the year 1863, and if so, why?
či mohol Kristus prísť v roku 1863 a prečo?
So we've been looking through a section that's taken from the book Evangelism,
Pozerali sme sa na časť, ktorá je z knihy Evangelizácia,
page 694. The section is called The Reason for the Delay.
strana 694 s názvom Dôvod pre odklad.
Ellen White, as we have been studying,
Ako sme študovali, Ellen White
is clear why there is a delay.
hovorí veľmi jasne, že prečo je tento odklad.
And she basically puts the blame at the door of the church.
A ona túto vinu dáva ku dverám cirkvi.
And she doesn't want us to blame God.
Ona nechce, aby sme obviňovali Boha.
So if we go to page 696,
Ak pôjdeme na stranu 696,
paragraph 3,
tretí odstavec,
the paragraph title is Charge It Not to God.
tam je nadpis tej kapitoly Nevinte za to Boha.
We may have to remain here in this world because of rebellion and disobedience.
Na tomto svete môžeme ešte ďalej zostať kvôli neposlušnosti a vzbúre.
Our experience reflects the experience of the children of Israel.
Naša skúsenosť zobrazuje skúsenosť detí Izraela.
We're here because of sin.
Sme tu kvôli hriechu.
She says we should not add to this sin.
Ona hovorí, že nemali by sme k tomuto hriechu ešte pridávať,
So the sin is disobeying God.
pretože ten hriech je neposlúchanie Boha
And we shouldn't add to that sin
a nemali by sme k tomu pridávať
by blaming God
tým, že budeme Boha obviňovať
about the consequences of our disobedience.
z tých následkov našej neposlušnosti.
So that's what we've been discussing.
O tom sme hovorili.
Each paragraph adds a small amount of detail to this whole story.
Každý odstavec pridáva malý detail k celému tomuto príbehu.
Any questions thus far?
Sú tu nejaké otázky ďalej?
So we ended up in our last class
V našej poslednej hodine sme skončili,
by looking at page 695, paragraph 1,
keď sme sa pozerali na 695, prvý odstavec z knihy Evangelizácia.
and the subtitle for this is there's no failure on the part of God's promises.
A tam je podnadpis, že Božie zasľúbenia nezlyhávajú.
And she explains why God words his warning messages in the way that he does.
Ona vysvetľuje, že prečo Boh tie posolstva, teraz neviem čo, ich formuluje
He
takým
consistently
spôsobom.
says there's not much time.
A tie posolstva hovoria, že už nie je veľa času.
And just because time has extended for a lot longer than they thought,
A pretože čas sa natiahol viac ako čakali,
it's not because God's promises has failed.
nie je to preto, že Božie zasľúbenia zlyhali.
Both the blessings and the cursings are conditional.
Požehnania aj kliatby sú podmienečné.
We address this issue of conditionality.
O tomto sme hovorili, že to je podmienečné.
If they had been faithful,
Ak by boli verní,
Daniel 11 verse 40 would have been fulfilled one way,
naplnil by sa Daniel 11.40 určitým spôsobom.
and if they were unfaithful, it would be fulfilled another way.
A keď boli neverní, naplnil by sa iným spôsobom.
And the way we would express it, I think,
To, ako my by sme to vyjadrili,
is that it could have been fulfilled in the first generation or the fourth
je,
generation.
že to mohlo byť naplnené v prvej generácii alebo v štvrtej generácii.
On 695 paragraph 2, we spoke about the breach in the law.
Hovorili sme o tých trhlinách v zákone.
We discussed that when we went to Isaiah
O
58.
tom sme hovorili v Izaiášovi 58.
If you go to the next paragraph, 695 paragraph
Keď
3,
pôjdeme do ďalšieho odstavca, 695, tretí odstavec,
she talks about holding fast to our faith.
ona hovorí o tom, že sa môžeme pevne držať našej viery.
And if we had seen how God's providence was opening the way,
Keby sme videli, ako Božia prozreteľnosť otvárala dvere,
the work would not have been hindered in the way that it has been.
to dielo by nebolo zdržané spôsobom, ako bolo.
Okay, so we ended up the class by looking at Testminster Church Volume 9.
Tú hodinu sme skončili tým, že sme sa pozerali na svedectvo pre cirkev, prvý zväzok, 9.
So it's on the board on the, on I guess I don't know, your right hand side.
Je to na tabuli.
And what we've shown
To, čo sme ukázali,
is about God's forbearance.
je o Božej zhovievavosti.
And where did we get this idea of God's forbearance? What's the reference for that?
A kde sme o tom študovali? Čo sme robili?
Where did we read about that?
Kde o tom čítame?
Page 13? Anybody got it in their notes? Page 12, paragraph 3.
12. strana, 3. odstavec.
Last part of the paragraph.
Posledná časť toho odstavcu.
They will learn that there is a limit to the forbearance of Jehovah.
Ľudia pochopia, že je hranica Božej zhovievavosti.
Now, if you look at the definition of forbearance,
Keď pozrieme sa na tú definíciu zhovievavosti,
whether you go for the noun or the verb,
či ideme, či pozeráme na to ako na sloveso
there's two ways
alebo
of spelling it.
podstatné meno. Dá sa to dvoma
F-O-R-E
spôsobmi
bear
sa to
or
speluje
F-O-R-B.
v angličtine.
And they give slightly different definitions.
A trošku to dáva iné definície. Tie rôzne spellingy.
And if you go for the second spelling, FOR,
Ak zoberieme ten druhý spelling,
what is it? What's the definition that it
aká je
gives
tá
you?
definícia?
It means to refrain, from abstain, from desist or to stop,
Znamená to zastaviť, prestať, ustať.
it means to restrain oneself.
Obmedziť,
Which is the conclusion that we came to.
k tomuto záveru sme prišli
And I think in the passage it says something about time.
a niečo tam sa píše o čase v tej pasáži.
The time, that one? The time is coming,
Prišiel čas,
they will reach a point that the Lord will not permit them to pass.
že prídu k bodu, ktorý Pán nedovolí, aby za neho išli.
We might call that they draw a line in the sand.
Môžeme to nazvať, že prekročili určitú
And you can't
hranicu.
pass over that line.
Nakreslila sa čiara, za tú čiaru sa už nemôže ísť.
And in the context of this, once you pass over that line, there will now be consequences.
A teraz už budú následky za prestúpenie.
And she speaks of the fact that before you get to the line,
Hovorí,
God is the one who saves, and after the one, God is the one that destroys.
hovorí o tom fakte, že predtým, ako sa prišlo k tejto hranici, Boh bol ten, ktorý zachraňoval, ale teraz bude Bohom, ktorý bude súdiť.
So if you remember, we said destroy equals save.
My sme ukazovali, že zničiť vlastne znamená zachrániť.
But obviously it doesn't equal it, it's the opposite of it.
Je to, nie je to to isté, je to vlastne opozitum.
So we're using a modified version of Miller's rule number 5.
Používame takú upravenú verziu Millerovho pravidla 5.
And instead of saying this is Miller's rules,
Miesto toho, aby sme povedali, že toto sú Millerové pravidlá,
what's the better way to express it?
aký je lepší spôsob toto vysvetliť?
The issue isn't Miller.
Uh,
The
nejde,
issue is rules.
nejde tu o Millera, ide o tie
So
pravidlá.
instead of calling it rules,
Miesto toho, aby sme to nazývali pravidlá,
I'm suggesting what we should say is the way to read inspiration.
mali by sme povedať spôsob, akým čítame inšpiráciu.
This is how we should read.
Takto by sme to mali čítať.
If we're okay with that definition of Miller's rules.
Ak súhlasíme s takouto definíciou Millerových pravidiel.
I don't want us to think of it as a set of numbers.
Nechcem, aby ste o tom rozmýšľali ako o nejakých číslach.
Each one
Každé jedno z nich
is really a self-contained statement of how you are supposed to read inspiration.
je taký výrok o tom, ako máme čítať inšpirované slovo.
Rule 1
Prvé pravidlo
is basically a statement that says when you read,
hovorí, že keď čítate,
what should you look for?
na čo by ste sa
Sister
mali
Catherine.
pozerať?
When you read, what should you look
Čo by ste
for?
mali hľadať?
Du liest, nach was solltest du Ausschau halten?
Rule 1.
Bei Regel Nummer 1.
V prvom pravidle.
Do you remember what rule 1 says?
Pamätáte si, čo hovorí to prvé pravidlo?
Stop all the time.
Brother Jim, what's rule number 1 say? Oh, it's not. Yeah, I've got it there.
Do you have it?
Sister.
I have it, but I know what it is. I
Okay,
think.
go ahead.
I think it's you look for the most important word.
Ich glaube, dass es um das wichtigste Wort geht.
So every word
Každé slovo
Bearing.
has its proper bearing
má
upon the
svoju
subject.
váhu.
Jedes Wort,
Oh, you found it. Could you read it to us?
every word was
its proper bearing on the subject presented in the Bible.
Jedes
Každé slovo
Wort
má
hat
svoju
seine
váhu
eigene
v tej téme
Gewichtung in
prezentovanej v
Bezug
Biblii.
auf ein Studium in
So
der Liebe.
we won't express it as a rule.
Nevyjadrime to ako pravidlo.
We will say,
Povieme,
whenever you read,
kedykoľvek čítate,
anytime,
kedykoľvek,
you should look for what?
mali by ste hľadať čo?
Du solltest nach dem
Čo by ste mali hľadať?
You should look at the most important word
Mali by ste hľadať to najdôležitejšie
in the
slovo
context of your study or your reading.
v kontexte vášho štúdia alebo v kontexte toho, čo čítate.
Rule number 5 says,
5. pravidlo hovorí,
on top of looking for the important word,
ešte okrem toho pozerania sa na to dôležité slovo,
you should allow the passage that you're reading to define itself.
musíte dovoliť vašej pasáži, ktorú čítate, aby sama seba definovala.
And if you can't get the passage itself to be self-defining, you should look for another place in inspiration to do that for you.
Keď neviete nájsť tú
If you can't
pasáž,
get the passage itself to be self-defining,
keď sa vám nepodarí tú pasáž vlastne tak
you should try to go somewhere else in
porozumieť, že sa
the
sama
same
definuje,
book or the
tak by
same
ste
piece of work to find that
mali
definition.
ísť na nejaké iné miesto v Biblii, kde nájdete tú definíciu.
It's a poor second to go to another completely other book to do that work. Poor second. You have the best thing, and then you have the second best, and the second best is poor.
Najlepšie je nájsť tú definíciu v tej prvej pasáži. Také slabšie to je, keď to už zoberieme z tej druhej pasáže, tú druhú definíciu.
So in our
V
context,
našom kontexte
it's a poor second to go to Strong's or Brown Driver Briggs or Thayer's.
je to slabšie ísť do Stronga alebo do nejakých výkladov, do slovníkov.
But we tend to think it's not only a good second choice, but it's the premier choice.
Ale my si myslíme nielen, že je to dobrá voľba, ale ešte, že je to aj naša primárna voľba.
So we discussed that,
O tom sme hovorili.
and then we looked at how we deal with this issue, this subject.
Potom sa pozrieme na to, ako sa vysporiadávame s touto témou.
So the first thing we did was look at the verses that deal with New York.
Čiže prvé, čo sme urobili, pozrime sa na tie verše, ktoré hovoria o New Yorku.
When you read from pages 12 and 13,
Keď čítame strany 12 až 14,
we did a little diagram.
urobili sme taký malý diagram.
We took the word time,
Zobrali sme slovo čas,
we took the word forbearance.
zhovievavosť.
I'm going to take the E out. To forbear. And we saw that forbear means not to do.
A videli sme, že to znamená, že niečo nemáme robiť.
So when God is forbearing,
niečo
He's not
nerobí.
doing.
Že Boh niečo prestane robiť.
So before the time,
Takže
He's not doing.
pred tým
Then
časom-
after the time, He therefore would be
Pred
doing.
tým časom to Boh nerobí a potom čase to robí.
When you're not doing, you're forbearing.
A keď nekonáme tú danú vec, tak vlastne zhovievame.
When you are doing,
A keď ju konáme,
you're not forbearing.
už nezhovievame.
So the not doing,
To
which
nekonanie
is the forbearing, is connected to the work of destruction.
je spojené s dielom zničenia.
Before the time, He's not destroying.
Predtým neničí,
Therefore, after the time, He is
ale
destroying.
potom ničí.
And this time
Tento čas
is the end.
je koniec.
What ends?
Aký koniec? Čo končí?
The forbearance.
Tá zhovievavosť.
The lack of destruction ends.
Končí to neničenie.
not destroying ends. It's
To, že Boh
a clumsy
neničí.
way of expressing what this is.
To, že Boh neničí, ten čas skončil.
Because it's like a double negative. So she says,
Ona hovorí,
the God who was strong to save will be strong to
že
destroy.
Boh, ktorý bol silný, aby zachránil, bude teraz silný, aby zničil.
They're equal opposites.
Sú rovné opozita.
So what we did was,
To, čo sme urobili, bolo,
we took this not doing, you are doing, and made them opposite.
zobrali sme toto robenie a nerobenie a urobili sme z nich opozita.
Hopefully you can see that.
To snáď vidíte.
You can see we've reversed them.
Urobili sme ich
And now it
naopak.
says, you are doing.
A teraz sa tam hovorí, že sa to
So what is God
robí.
doing?
Čo Boh robí?
He's doing the opposite of destroying.
Robí opak ničenia.
He's saving. Good.
Zachraňuje.
You are doing saving, and then it says you're not doing saving.
Robí dielo záchrany a tu na už nerobí dielo záchrany.
Then it becomes an easy matter.
A to sa stáva takou jednoduchou
What we need
vecou.
to do
To, čo musíme
is
spraviť,
find
je zistiť,
when the saving ends.
kedy končí dielo záchrany.
When does the saving end?
Kedy končí dielo záchrany?
We can go to a number of passages in inspiration to show when it ends.
Môžeme ísť do niekoľkých pasáží v inšpirácii, aby sme to ukázali.
And we understand it to be the close of probation.
My to chápeme, že je to koniec doby milosti.
Sometimes in a story we might model it with a shut door.
V nejakom príbehu to môžeme pomenovať ako zavreté dvere.
So we know that the passage,
Vieme,
page 12 and 13, which is the destruction of these buildings,
vieme, že
is talking about the close of probation.
Vieme, že tá pasáž na strane 12-13, kde sa hovorí o zničení tých budov, je pri závere milosti.
Why is she talking about New York?
Prečo hovorí o New Yorku?
Two reasons.
Z dvoch dôvodov.
Do you remember? Do we know?
Pamätáte si?
Why does New York come up?
Prečo sa tu spomína New York?
Page 12, paragraph 1.
Strana 12.1.
She was in New York.
Ona vtedy bola v New Yorku
When she's in New York, she has a
a
dream.
tam mala sen.
So that's one
To
reason.
je jeden dôvod.
Because she has a dream there.
Má tam sen.
There's another
A
reason,
ešte je ďalší dôvod,
which I don't think is in this passage.
ktorý si nemyslím, že je v tejto pasáži.
And what's that
A
reason?
to je ktorý?
Does anybody know?
Viete?
This is the Review and Herald article.
Toto je z článku Review a Herald.
What are people saying?
Čo ľudia hovoria?
What's going to come upon New York?
Čo príde na New York?
Going to be a tidal wave there.
Good.
Leute
Mala
würden,
tam
haben
byť,
gesagt, dass
ľudia hovoria, že tam príde
She
prílivová
says-
vlna.
People are putting leaflets out
Ona hovorí, že ľudia rozdávajú letáky
saying that New York will be hit by a tidal wave.
a hovoria, že na New York príde prílivová vlna.
Why did they say that?
Prečo to hovoria?
Who are they? I'm going to say, who are they quoting?
Koho v úvodzovkách citujú?
Who are they quoting? They're quoting Ellen White,
Oni citujú Ellen Whiteovú,
but she says,
že ona hovorí,
I never said that.
ale ona
Where did they
hovorí,
even get that idea
ja
from?
som toto nikdy nepovedala. Odkiaľ oni majú tento
What
nápad?
incident did they get that idea from?
Odkiaľ to majú?
Yes.
woher haben Sie denn diese Vorstellung? Sie haben diese Vorstellung oder diese Idee von dem Erdbeben in San Francisco.
So if you want to do a study on the buildings in New York being destroyed, you need to consider the San Francisco earthquake.
Ak chcete sa pozrieť alebo študovať o týchto budovách v New Yorku, musíte zvážiť aj zemetrasenie vo San Francisku.
So based upon her comments on the San Francisco earthquake,
Na základe jej komentov zemetrasenia v San Francisku,
some people said Ellen White's predicted that a tidal wave, or we would call it today a tsunami, will hit New York.
niektorí ľudia začali hovoriť, že Ellen Whiteová predpovedala, že príde tsunami alebo prílivová vlna na New York.
And what's the tsunami caused by?
Čím je tsunami spôsobené?
By an earthquake.
Zemetrasením.
Earthquake in California, earthquake in New York.
Zemetrasenie v Kalifornii, v New Yorku.
It's just that it's not going to be on a fault line, it will be in the sea.
Ale že to bude v mori a nie na zemi.
Hence the tidal wave or tsunami.
A to spôsobí prílivovú vlnu.
She said, that's not true.
Ona hovorí, že to nie je pravda.
I haven't seen that and I haven't said that.
Ja som také nič nevidela, ani som nič také
What I
nepovedala.
have said
To, čo som povedala,
is that these buildings will be destroyed.
je, že budú zničené tieto budovy.
And then she goes on to talk about the angel of Revelation 18.
A potom hovorí o anielovi zo zjavenia 18.
And that causes people a huge amount of problems.
A toto spôsobuje ľuďom mnoho problémov.
We're not going to study that passage out,
Túto pasáž nebudeme študovať,
but we do need to consider the intricacies of that statement if you were going to put that on a line.
ale musíme zvážiť detaily rôzne tohto citátu, ak to chceme dávať na líniu.
Sufficient to say that that article in the Review and Herald and this one in Testimonies Volume 9 speak about the same event.
Ale je dostatočné povedať, že vlastne ten článok v Review a Herald a tento hovoria o tej istej udalosti.
And what confuses people often
To, čo ľudí často metie,
is the following.
je následovné.
Now, let's step out of that
Poďme trošku teraz
and let's just assume we all understand about 9/11.
sa pozrieť z diaľky. My
What does
rozumieme
9/11
o 9.11.
point to or warn you about?
My
that
vieme,
we
že
say normally in
9.11
this
nás má
movement?
varovať o čom?
What do we say it points to?
Na čo nám to ukazuje? Na záver milosti, nie?
What it points to?
Na čo nám
What
to
it's warning you
ukazuje?
about? Sunday law,
Na nedelný zákon.
11:41.
Daniel 11.41.
It points you to the Sunday law.
Odkazuje nás, alebo ukazuje na nedelný zákon.
Revelation 18 verse 1,
Zjavenie 18.1.
Ellen White will tell you is what waymark.
Ellen Whiteová hovorí, že je ktorý milník.
What's the chapter title?
Ako sa nazýva tá kapitola?
Did I even quote the book? No. What book are we talking about?
O ktorej knihe hovoríme?
Great Controversy.
O veľkom spore.
No looking. We're in Great Controversy.
Sme vo veľkom spore.
Chapter number
V ktorej kapitole?
38.
38.
Page number
A na strane
60. 60.
Fine.
Start all 601 to 603.
603.
Chapter title.
A
Sister Ellen? Chapter title?
názov kapitoly?
No, almost.
last crisis.
The final warning.
Posledné varovanie.
So this is the final warning.
To je posledné varovanie.
We'll go to early writings.
Pôjdeme do ranných spisov.
Page number
Strana
277. Good.
277.
Chapter title.
Názov kapitoly.
No. The loud cry.
Hlasité volanie.
I'm hoping my memory serves me correctly. Let's just double check.
Radšej to pozrime,
So
či
I'm not
si to
leading you
dobre
astray.
pamätám.
Yeah, so chapter 38, the final warning is 603, so that was correct.
Takže je
And
to
then if you go to early writings,
kapitola 38. Vo veľkom
Spiritual Gifts,
spore,
volume
posledné
loud
varovanie.
cry,
A v ranných
277
spisoch
paragraph
je to
1.
strana
Okay, so we're all good on that.
277, hlasité volanie.
Okay, so there are 2 pages, chapter titles that we need to have fixed in our minds.
Toto sú dve kapitoly, ktoré musíme mať v našich mysliach dobre
I'll go through it again.
upevnené.
So, great controversy,
Veľký spor,
chapter 38,
strana 38,
the final warning,
posledné varovanie,
page 603.
strana 603,
Early writings,
ranné spisy,
the loud cry,
hlasité volanie,
page 277.
strana 277.
Now, I don't know if I've done right by always going to early writings
Neviem, či som to spravil dobre, že som vždy šiel do ranných spisov
instead of going to spiritual gifts.
miesto do duchovných darov.
Because if we'd gone to spiritual gifts, volume 1,
Keby sme išli do duchovných darov, 1,
this would have been chapter number 34.
to by bola kapitola 34.
And it's obviously a different page number.
To je iná strana.
And I've got to a place where I've just memorized the early writings version.
Ja som si zapamätal tú verziu ranných spisov.
So, spiritual gifts, volume 34, if you wanted to go to, it's the same, exactly the same thing.
Je to presne to isté, tie duchovné dary.
It's exactly the same name, the loud cry. Early writings
Ranné spisy,
is 3 books,
to sú 3 knihy.
Experience and Views,
Uh,
Supplement,
duchovné videnia,
an additional piece, an
potom
addition.
nejaké také tie dodatky.
It's a supplement to Experience and Views to explain some things.
Dodatky k tým skúsenostiam a videniam, také vysvetlenia.
Then Spiritual Gifts, volume
Duchovné
1.
dary, prvý zväzok.
And there's another part called an appendix.
A ešte je tam potom posledná časť a to je ako appendix, ako dodatok, alebo
Okay.
prídavok.
So we just need to remember those.
Tieto si musíme pamätať.
The reason why they're important
Dôvod, prečo sú dôležité,
is if you look at the next chapter.
je, že keď sa pozrieme na ďalšiu kapitolu,
So if you're in early
keď
writings,
sme v ranných spisoch,
what's the next chapter called?
ako sa nazýva tá ďalšia kapitola?
Good. Which we will
Záver tretieho
attach
anielského
to
posolstva.
the next chapter.
A k tomu pripojíme tú ďalšiu kapitolu.
Good. Time of, say Jacob's trouble or just a time of trouble?
Čas Jakobovho súženia.
So in Spiritual Gifts Volume 1, it's actually called the time of Jacob's trouble, but I think they changed the title in early writings.
V tých duchovných daroch je to čas Jakobovho súženia, ale myslím, že v ranných spisoch tam je trošku zmenený názov.
Great controversy, the time of trouble.
Veľký spor, čas súženia.
So if we're okay with all of that,
Ak s týmto všetkým súhlasíme,
just want to make a comment.
mali by sme urobiť komentár.
So, Where do you find Revelation 18? In which chapter?
V ktorej kapitole nachádzame Zjavenie 18?
The loud cry chapter.
To je kapitola hlasitého volania.
Which is to do with the Sunday law.
To je o nedeľnom zákone.
Revelation 18 verse 1 is the Sunday law.
Zjavenie 18.1 je nedeľný zákon.
So, very casually, we in the movement have placed 9/11 pointing to the Sunday law.
Čiže my sme tak ukázali, že 9.11 vlastne ukazuje na nedeľný zákon.
But in fact, if you go to Review and Herald,
Ale keď ideme do Review a Herald,
what's the reference for that one? Review and Herald, July 5th.
5. júl. Review a Herald, 5. júl.
Paragraph.
Odstavec.
So technically we should begin paragraph 13, but many people will have remembered paragraph 14.
Mali by sme začať už v 13. odstavci, ale väčšina
13
ľudí
just
pozná ten
says,
14.
Under the date of August the 9th, 1903, I wrote,
A tam
and
sa,
then 14 says, how comes that I've declared about New York?
tam sa píše, jak je možné, že vraj, alebo ako to, že ľudia hovoria, že ja
Sure.
som niečo povedala o New Yorku.
The actual section begins on paragraph 13,
Takže celé to začína v 13. odstavci,
but most people remember 14.
ale väčšina ľudí pozná 14.
That's where it mentions New York and the tsunami.
Tam sa hovorí o tom New Yorku a tsunami alebo prílivovej vlne.
Okay, so I've given you 3 references.
Dal som vám tri miesta alebo odvolávky
Sister Swellen,
Swellen,
without looking,
bez toho, aby si sa pozrela.
give me all 3 references.
Ktoré sú to?
I'll write them down so you know where you are.
Napíšem ich.
GC
GC
60,
GC 603, kapitola 38, kapitola Posledné varovanie, potom
Doesn't have a
ranné
chapter
spisy
number.
277, kapitola Hlasité volanie, alebo hlasné volanie. A Review a Herald, 5. júl 1906, odstavec 13.
I'm going to put 14 because
Napíšem sem
I'm going to cheat. Yes, that's what I remember.
14, ale v 13. to začína.
But it begins 13. So if you're going to do it properly, I'll go for the 13 and for clean memory.
Čiže podľa správnosti by sme mali začať v 13.
The reason why I'm mentioning all of that,
Dôvod, prečo o tomto rozprávam,
because in the movement we've got 9/11 pointing to the Sunday law.
v hnutí máme 9.11, ktoré ukazuje na nedeľný zákon,
But
ale
it's the Review and Herald article,
v tom článku Review a Herald
and the fourth one is
a potom ešte to
19,
štvrté,
page
to je
11.
9.11,
It's actually 12 and 13.
ale sú to strany 12-13, ale začínajú na 11.
We know this one is what waymark?
Vieme, že toto je ktorý milník.
What waymark is that?
Ktorý milník je to?
Close probation. We know that. We can prove that. We just did it in class.
To je záver milosti. To sme urobili na hodine. To vieme.
I'm saying these two are equal.
Ja hovorím, že tieto dve sú si rovné.
Therefore, the Review and Herald article is talking about the close of probation.
Takže článok Review a Herald hovorí o závere milosti.
But what does it say?
Ale o čom to hovorí?
When the angel of Revelation 18 comes down,
Keď ten anjel zo zjavenia 18 ide,
destruction happens.
stane sa zničenie.
When does the angel come down?
Kedy príde ten anjel? Alebo zíde?
Sunday law.
Pri nedeľnom
So you can begin
zákone.
to get confused.
To nás môže zmiasť.
So without proving it,
Bez toho, aby sme to dokázali.
Sister Kathy, what does the word fulfill means?
Kedy, čo to znamená slovo naplniť?
Complete.
Urobiť úplným, doplniť.
Full.
To sú dve slova, naplniť, ako dvojité
So it's
opakovanie.
a redundant statement,
Je to vlastne ako taký redundantný výrok. Je to tam ako
which
keby
just
navyše.
says full.
Znamená to plný.
What way mark is this, Sister Catherine?
Aký je to milník? Katrin,
Sunday law.
Good.
nedeľný zákon
Sonntagsgesetz.
a záver milosti.
And this is?
Toto je
Revelation 18.
This.
Toto je
Okay. What's this way mark?
Čo je tento milník?
Wegmarke hier?
Oh, the loud cry.
And what's this line?
Hlasité volanie a toto?
Was ist diese bestriegelte Linie?
The loud cry.
Good.
Tiež hlasité volanie, rastúce.
So the loud cry begins at the Sunday law.
Hlasité
Ends
volanie
at the close of
začína
probation.
pri nedeľnom zákone a končí pri závere milosti.
Is everybody okay with that?
Áno?
So, Revelation 18
Takže
comes down where?
zjavenie 18, kedy schádza ten anjel zo zjavenia 18?
At the Sunday law?
Pri nedeľnom zákone?
Is it fulfilled here?
Je to tu naplnené?
Its work? No, it's
Jeho
not.
dielo? Nie, nie je.
When is it fulfilled?
Kedy je jeho dielo naplnené?
At the close of probation.
Pri závere milosti.
And without understanding that dynamic,
Bez toho, že by sme rozumeli týmto vzťahom alebo dynamike,
it's easy to get tripped up with all of these passages.
je veľmi jednoduché sa v týchto pasážach zamotať.
It arrives at Sunday law and it reaches its climax or its complete fulfillment at the close of probation.
Príde pri nedeľnom zákone a ten svoj vrchol dosiahne pri závere milosti. Alebo vtedy dosiahne to naplnenie.
Okay, so before, unless there's any questions on that,
Ak nie sú k tomu žiadne otázky,
we had some homework.
mali sme domácu úlohu.
Sister Catherine,
Katrin?
just tell us what the homework was.
Aká to bola domáca?
Okay, what was the homework?
Ida chose 9/11 to bomb the Twin Towers.
Attack.
Not bomb, attack.
Warum hat Al-Qaida
Prečo si Al-Qaida vybrala práve dátum 11. septembra na napadnutie
Okay, so I don't know
dvojčiek?
who could find anything.
Neviem, či niekto z vás niečo našiel.
Did you find anything, Brother Jim? What did you find out?
Al-Qaeda used September 11th, 1684? 83.
So 9/11,
Also ich habe
9/11.
dass Al-Qaida am 11. September
1683.
1683. Tento dátum si vybral Al-Qaida v tomto roku.
Well, I had it written down right here.
No, they've got good memory to go that far back.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Right, yeah. They hold a grudge.
ums Jahr 1683.
Okay, so it's 9/11 and they've got a grudge.
Right.
What's a grudge, Sister Kathy?
A thorn in their side.
No, that won't help.
Yeah. They're holding something against
How do you spell it?
Grudge. They want vengeance.
They're angry.
UD. No, is that right? GRUD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want revenge.
Also sie haben einen Groll seitdem und jetzt wollen
Vtedy
sie
majú nejakú
oder eine Missgunst
túžbu
und
po
jetzt wollen sie
odplate, alebo
We've got a grudge because something happened in 1683, 9/11.
nevraživosť. Vtedy 11. septembra 1683
Das ist die Belagerung von
broken.
Wien.
So this is Vienna.
Yeah.
bolo obliehanie Viedne.
Is that good?
Uh-huh.
Vienna. This is the siege of Vienna.
Es geht um die
Vtedy bola
Belagerung
obliehaná
von Wien.
Viedeň.
And this is when it ended. Is that what it is? That
A vtedy toto obliehanie skončilo, či?
go ahead, this is Lani.
It's when it started. It was the first day.
Ah. So
Vtedy
this is the
začalo
start
obliehanie.
Das ist der Anfangspunkt.
of the siege.
Anfangspunkt
Začalo
der
obliehanie
Belagerung.
Viedne.
Is that siege?
Mhm.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's either I
Yes.
or yeah.
Maybe it's IE.
Aye. So this is the start of the siege of Vienna.
Also das ist der
To je
Beginn
začiatok
der
obliehania.
Do you want me to tell you what I
Belagerung
read?
von Wien.
Okay. Well, I read that they made a mistake because they thought that
So who's made a mistake? Who's the bad?
the Muslims, the Islam,
Der Islam hat einen Fehler gemacht.
because they thought that they would be weak, that that area, that Europe would be weak, and that they, the Christian, that they could just come in there and get them by surprise and
Sie glaubten, dass sie dort eine
Vtedy
schwache
ako keby
Stelle
pochybili,
gefunden hätten,
mysleli
von
si,
Europa
že bude
einfach
oslabená kresťanská
So let me
Európa.
summarize, make sure I understand this. In that time period,
Takže v
in
tomto
dieser
čase
Zeitspanne
Islam wanted to invade Europe.
Islám chcel napadnúť Európu.
erobern.
They thought it was a good time because they thought Europe was weak,
Mysleli si, že je to dobrý čas, pretože Európa bola oslabená
and they made a mistake.
a urobili chybu.
Can I ask you one question?
Spýtam sa otázku.
What country is that?
Toto je aká krajina?
it's Austria now,
Austria.
Teraz je to Rakúsko.
part of the some kind of empire at the time.
V tom čase
this
to bola
is-
ríša.
everybody may not know. So this is Austria.
Takže teraz je to
Carry on.
teraz Rakúsko.
That that's what Al Qaeda did this time too. They made the mistake to think that
Und diesen Artikel,
A
den ich
tiež
gelesen
vtedy
habe,
urobila
sagt,
Al-Qaida
dass
chybu.
Al-Qaida diesmal auch einen Fehler gemacht haben, weil sie denken,
that the U.S. or the Western world was weak.
dass die Vereinigten
Mysleli
Staaten
si,
oder
že
die westliche
západný
Welt
svet
schwach
bol
ist.
oslabený.
And one of the things that they cited was the fact that Ronald Reagan just left when they, took the Marines out of Lebanon when that was bombed, and they just
1 second. Lebanon.
Yeah.
It was bombed, and what happened to the Marines?
Was
They were
geschah mit der
killed.
Marine im Libanon?
Lebanon vlastne bol...
Okay, so
so. But Ronald Reagan just
what
Boli
year
tam
is that?
zhodené
Do you
nejaké
know?
bomby.
Ish.
remember ish.
80, that
A Ronald Reagan sa stiahol.
Okay, so
In the
Ronald,
80s.
81, 82.
Ronald Reagan is the president.
Uh-huh.
Ronald
Ronald
ist
Reagan bol
Präsident.
There's
prezidentom.
some Marines in which country?
Lebanon.
In Lebanon.
Lebanon boli ponorky.
Es gibt eine Seeflotte im Libanon.
They get killed.
Uh-huh.
Dort werden sie
Tých tam
zerstört.
zabili.
And what's that connected to this?
Ako to má
Well-
prepojenie s týmto?
Ronald Reagan just withdrew them,
Ronald Reagan hat sie zurückgezogen.
Ronald Reagan
and
vlastne sa
the
stiahol.
Islam took that as a sign of weakness.
Alebo stiahol svoje jednotky a Islám to zobral ako znamenie slabosti.
that was in 1983.
Okay.
To bolo v 1983.
1983
1983
in Lebanon,
v Lebanone
there's some Marines there.
sú tam ponorky.
Eine Seeflotte dort.
Islam or some Islam faction kills them.
Uh-huh.
Nejaká islamská časť ich vlastne zabila tých ľudí tam a
The president of the United States, instead of fighting back, withdraws.
A miesto toho, aby prezident Spojených štátov s nimi bojoval, tak sa vlastne
The
stiahol.
president, instead of fighting back, revenging, he withdraws.
Anstatt dass die USA zurückschlagen, ziehen sie.
Stiahol sa z boja.
This is Reagan.
To bol Ronald Reagan.
Das ist Ronald Reagan.
Ayen? So this is Ronald Reagan. He withdraws.
Ten sa stiahol.
This is a sign of weakness.
To bolo znamenie slabosti.
So they plan,
Plánovali
and then in 2001,
a v 2001,
maybe there's something in between you're going to tell us. In 2001, then they think, let's finish it, and they realize that they made a mistake.
chceli to dokončiť a tedy si uvedomili, že urobili chybu.
Any more? Oh, 1 second, yes. This 1983? October 23, she's going to explain.
Toto bolo 23. oktobra.
But,
Oh,
they,
by the way, where did you find where is this article?
well, I
What
just
is
looked
Nazi?
online
Odkiaľ máš ten
and I
článok?
found like a little, he found one that was similar also. It was in theguardian.com. I didn't say, I just took a picture of that.
Okay.
But this other article, if I could, historical significance of the date September 11th. And it's from the Agape Bible Study.
Okay.
Jedno
So
bolo
we'll try and
z
post
Guardian a
the
druhé
Guardian
bolo...
article, if you could re-find that and put it onto our forum, and then this Agape article.
Yeah, this is
Článok
the
Agape.
really long one.
Okay.
Um,
So we started in Vienna. The
Začali
siege
sme vo
began
Viedni.
on September the 11th,
Tam začalo to
1683, and the
Obléhanie.
siege didn't work. They thought Europe was weak.
ale
Turns out that it
nefungovalo to. Mysleli si, že Európa je oslabená. A napadli
So
vlastne
nothing connected to that.
Európu. S týmto to nič
In
nemalo.
1983,
V 1983
there's an attack upon a marine base in the Middle East.
na Strednom východe bol vlastne útok na takú základňu námornickú
The United States, instead of retaliating, withdraws.
a Spojené štáty miesto toho, aby vrátili útok, tak sa stiahli.
Islam sees this as their opportunity
A islám to vidí ako svoju príležitosť,
to deal with the weak America, a weak West,
aby vlastne sa vysporiadal s oslabeným západom.
to fix the mistake they made in Vienna.
Aby tú chybu, ktorú urobili vo Viedni, napravili.
And because they wanted to fix the mistake they did in Vienna, they chose the same date.
A vybrali si ten istý dátum.
Is that what you're saying?
To je to, čo ty hovoríš?
What more details do you want to add?
one of the other
Ešte chceš nejaké
things
detaily
that
k
mentioned
tomu?
is that fanatics often choose something that seems obscure to everyone else, but it means something to them.
Fanatici si často vyberajú veci, ktoré sa ostatným zdajú také že nespojité, že s tým nesúvisia, ale pre nich to niečo znamená.
So to answer Brother Jonathan's question,
Takže aby sme zodpovedali Jonatánovú otázku,
this 1983 event
táto udalosť
was
1983
just some random attack,
bol iba taký nejaký náhodný útok,
but it becomes the catalyst for 9/11.
ale stal sa to katalizátor pre 9/11.
There are obviously many steps between them,
Medzi nimi je mnoho krokov,
but because they see weakness here, they assume weakness here.
ale pretože videli slabosť tu, predpokladajú, že slabosť bude aj tu.
Anything else?
Ešte niečo?
If there is, come back. Sister Kathy,
Katy?
what did you see? Oh, 1 second, Brother Jim.
I was going to say it was 300 years after that siege that the Marine barracks were.
Es sind genau 300 Jahre zwischen 1683 und 1983.
Was that deliberate?
Ist das absichtlich?
I don't know if it was deliberate on the. It might have been deliberate on the Muslims.
Okay, but we don't know.
We don't
Nobody
know.
comments on that.
We don't know.
Okay, so we can see that this is 300 years. I think you can see the maths on that.
Also man kann hier erkennen, dass es 300 Jahre sind.
So we're not sure if we're observing that or if the radical Islamists also saw that 300-year anniversary.
Ich weiß
Takže
es
my
nicht.
sme si nie istí, či to vlastne aj radikálny islám takto videl.
They call that a jihad.
Which one?
That one.
Und Sie nennen hier die
Alebo
Belagerung
či to
von
len my
Wien
takto
einen
vnímame.
Which number?
Well, I don't know.
Bolo to
the
300
second.
rokov odtedy.
Wir nennen es jetzt den zweiten Dschihad.
Jihad?
And AD. AD. Jihad, yeah.
J-I-H, is that correct? Next. R-D? Okay, we'll check that. We're going to assume it's the second jihad.
Also wir gehen jetzt davon aus,
To
dass
bol
es der
pravdepodobne
zweite
druhý
Dschihad ist.
džihad,
And I'm doing that because I'm assuming Constantinople is the first, but I might be wrong.
pretože myslím si, že Konštantinopol bol prvý, ale možno sa mýlim.
And then are you going to suggest that this is the third?
A
Is that
ty
what
hovoríš, že
you're
toto je tretí?
gonna do? Or not? Okay.
Nie, dobre.
We just know that is a jihad.
Ale toto si videl ako džihad.
Jihad probably is why they wanted to have another jihad, 9/11.
Die Tatsache, dass es ein
Práve
Dschihad
that
ist,
day.
pretože ten
liegt
sa im
daran, dass wir
nepodaril,
auch
tak chceli pri 9.11 spustiť ďalší džihad.
haben wollten.
So this becomes a jihad.
Toto je...
I'll put it in parentheses because this is my guess.
Ja to dám takto do zatvorky, lebo to je len môj odhad.
They did start off pretty strong, and they ended up killing 30,000 Christians.
Also das
Oni nakoniec zabili 30,000
In the siege.
kresťanov pri tom obliehaní.
They things took a turn,
For the worse.
yeah, towards in
the
favor of
Islam.
the Christians.
Yes, in favour of... It
Dann,
took a turn for the worse for Islam.
dann hat es aber eine Kehrtwende genommen
Veci
und
sa
ist,
vlastne obrátili zlým smerom proti kresťanom.
Like we studied this in Arkansas,
Wir haben das in Arkansas schon
Keď sme to študovali v
and
Arkansase,
it seemed like the part of that study, it came out that really it was providential that
Islam lost
yeah,
because they should have won.
right, and that
und es schien
zdalo sa
so,
to, ako
dass
keby
es
to
sehr,
bolo vedenie prozreteľné, že islám
dass die
teraz niečo
Vorsehung war, dass
prehral,
die
alebo...
Christen damals gewonnen war, weil die Machtverhältnisse eigentlich anders waren.
and
We're talking about 1683.
1683.
1683.
oh, go ahead.
Sister Kathy, what did you find?
Katy, čo si ty našla?
Same article.
Same thing.
To isté?
And they pointed out that 1683 event was a turning point for the Ottoman Empire.
A písali tam, že táto udalosť bola bodom obratu pre Osmanskú ríšu rok 1683.
Down, they never recovered from that defeat.
Bodom obratu smerom dole a vlastne z tej porážky sa nikdy oni
And that's when Christian or Western powers would dominate the Muslim world.
vtedy začali kresťanské moci dominovať nad islamskými.
So is that what 9/11 is?
To je ten 9.11?
They just point that out.
No, I'm just pointing that out because to them, they were humiliated by that defeat in 1683.
V tomto roku 1683 oni sa cítili veľmi ponížení a
A or
pokorení.
O? Ota?
Otto.
So it's the beginning of the end.
To bol začiatok konca.
Brother Jonathan, what did you find?
Ty si čo našiel, Jonathan?
Same article or a different one?
No, I found different things, but I don't find what I typed in again. I just found that I wasn't going back that far.
Sure.
I found that Russian troops were removed from Cuba on that day, and nothing with Islam.
Okay.
Ja som ohľadne islamu zvláštne nič nenašiel.
Sister Catherine, you didn't get a chance to take it? Okay. Brothers.
We were saying that it was the beginning of the siege, but it looks to me like when in the article I'm reading, it was the end of the siege when
Okay.
They lost
yeah.
that battle. So that's when they ended. It ended for them.
Is that beginning or end?
September 11th. It's when it began, and I found it in, I think,
One
Wikipedia.
second. So 9/11 is where it begins or where it ends?
Begins.
September fängt an.
11. septembra
What
je
you
čas,
reading?
kedy vlastne
Article?
začala tá bitka, v ktorej Islám prehral.
Encyclopedia Britannica, Siege of Vienna.
Ich lese hier etwas über die
says it went from July-
von Wien.
Britannica. It says that it went from July 17th to, this one says September 12th, 1680.
Tam na Britanike sa píše, že to začalo od júla a skončilo to 12. septembra.
We'll come back
Dobre, tak sa k tomu vrátime,
to work out the dates.
aby sme tie
We'll
dátumy
come to
mali
a consensus
správne.
position on that. But what we've seen is
Ale čo sme
that
zatiaľ videli,
9/11 date of 1683
je, že dátum 9.11 v roku 1683,
is why they chose 9/11.
to je dôvod, prečo si oni vybrali 9.11.
So my question is,
Moja otázka je,
how do we know that?
odkiaľ to vieme?
Is this someone's guess or did Al-Qaeda tell us this?
Toto niekto si myslí, je to niekto takto háda, alebo nám to Al-Qaida hovorí?
Sister Kathy? How do we know? Is this someone's opinion piece or is it fact?
Ako vieme, či
They
to
chose
fakt?
9/11 because of Vienna.
Ako vieme, že je to fakt, alebo alebo si to len niekto myslí? Že 9.11 si vybrali kvôli
Not sure.
tejto porážke
Well,
vo
it
Viedni.
seems like it was a significant event for Islam
Pre Islám to bola významná
based on
udalosť
history.
v dejinách.
Event für den Islam.
I
But we
get
don't
that,
know why they picked it.
but I'm asking, how did these people know that 9/11 attaches back to that? Is it just this Christian author saying this, or did Al-Qaeda tell us?
Sagen das einfach
Al-Qaida to
nur,
niekde
dass
hovorí,
die
alebo to je
beiden
vlastne
so in
uzáver
Verbindung stehen,
kresťanských
oder sagt,
autorov?
ist das Al-Qaida?
That's my question.
To je moja otázka.
I have a different thought.
Okay.
I'm looking in Wikipedia, it tells me the conflict parties. What I see is that Islam is attacking the German Empire, which is the army of Rome. This would be my connection point.
Good.
Islám napadá
So the question I'm asking is,
Jetzt die Frage, die ich stelle.
vlastne
there's a lot of
Armádu
information that we
Ríma.
know prophetically about these two events.
O týchto dvoch udalostiach vieme toho dosť veľa vlastne z prorockých dejín.
You reading Wikipedia? So what were you reading?
Ty to čítaš
What
kde
are
na
the dates you
Wikipedii?
got for Wikipedia? Do you have a September the 11th? For the end?
Na Wikipedii sa píše, že
Okay, so
12.
the September
septembra
the 11th, I
skončila tá
presume,
bitka.
was the final day of some kind. Hence, I'm assuming that. But my question is, do we still know why it's 9/11 here? Besides
Stále
the
vieme, prečo
association?
tu je 9.11? Vieme, odkiaľ vybrali práve dátum 9.11?
Was that agape piece, an opinion piece, or was it a reporting document?
Máme to z nejakej oficiálnej správy, alebo je to len názor
So people
niekoho?
who are watching, even if we don't know, that's part of our homework. I want to find out,
Chcem, aby ste to
is-
zistili na domácu úlohu.
first of all, is the 9/11 here connected to 9/11 here?
Za prvé, či 9.11 s týmto tu súvisí s 9.11 tu.
And is there even a September the 11th here if we're going to say it's the 12th?
A to je 12. september, dokonca tu na, nie len
Because
11.
Wikipedia and Britannica give it the 12th.
Lebo Wikipedia a Britannica dávajú dátum 12.
We'll do that as homework.
To urobíme na domácu.
Okay, so we've got perhaps some idea of why they chose 9/11.
Čiže máme približnú takú myšlienku o tom, že prečo si vybrali práve ten dátum.
Let's summarize.
Poďme to zhrnúť.
Testimonies of the Church, Volume 9,
9T
90, points to the end of God's forbearance.
nás ukazuje na záver Božej zhovievavosti.
It's clear that Ellen White's speaking about the close of probation.
Je jasné, že len Whiteová tam hovorí o závere milosti.
We've got 4 Spirit of Prophecy quotes.
Máme 4 citáty Ellen Whiteovej.
3 of them
3 z nich
deal with the angel of Revelation 18.
Hovoria o anjelovi zo zjavenia 18.
These 3
Tieto 3
all point to the Sunday law waymark.
všetky ukazujú na milník nedeľného zákona.
The 9T passage points directly to the close of probation.
A tá z 9T ukazuje na záver milosti.
The Review and Herald article
Článok Review a Herald
speaks about the fulfillment of Revelation 18.
hovorí o naplnení zjavenia 18.
So we have the arrival
Takže máme príchod
and the Sunday law
pri nedeľnom
and its
zákone
work being fulfilled or ending at the close of probation.
a jeho dielo, ktoré končí alebo je dokonané v závere milosti.
So we have a coherent message, a logical, systematic.
Takže máme logické, systematické posolstvo.
So on the board we have 9:11 pointing to the close of probation,
Na tabuli
not pointing to the Sunday law.
9.11 nám ukazuje na záver milosti, nie k nedeľnému zákonu.
And I think in the movement,
A v hnutí
most teachers have pointed to the fact that 9:11 directs you to the Sunday law, and it does not.
väčšina učiteľov
Most
hovorila
teachers
v
indicate that
hnutí,
9:11 points to the Sunday law, and it does not.
že 9.11 nám vlastne ukazuje na nedeľný zákon, ale to nie je pravda. Ono ukazuje na záver milosti.
It really points to the close of probation.
Ukazuje to k závere milosti.
But there is an association between these two.
Ale medzi týmito dvoma je prepojenie.
Is because Ellen White clearly indicates that the angel of Revelation 18 comes down at the Sunday law.
Pretože Ellen Whiteová jasne hovorí, že anjel zo zjavenia 18 schádza pri nedeľnom
The movement
zákone.
has taught what?
A hnutie učilo čo?
That this angel comes down when?
Že tento anjel schádza kedy?
9:11.
Pri 9.11.
So you know that the movement teaches that 9:11 points to the Sunday law.
Takže vieme, že hnutie učí, že 9.11 ukazuje na nedeľný zákon.
And it's just incorrect just at that level.
A na tejto úrovni to je nesprávne.
That Sunday law was. Yes.
Ale my sme vždy verili, že nedeľný zákon je záver milosti. Áno.
The whole thing is just, I just call it a mess normally.
Ja, keď to mám nejako nazvať, je to chaos alebo neporiadok.
Because they're all illogical positions.
Sú to rôzne pozície, ktoré sme v minulosti vzali, ale nie sú
Because what Ellen White
logické.
calls the Sunday law, we turn into close probation, and everything comes out of sync. It's not synchronized properly.
Pretože to, čo Ellen Whiteová nazýva nedeľným zákonom, my sme nazvali záverom milosti a všetko vlastne sa potom pomiešalo.
So we want to just talk about the rest of that in our next study.
V našej štúdii ďalšie budeme hovoriť o tomto ostatnom.
The homework that we saw,
Domáca úloha, ktorú
from the
sme
homework we
videli,
were given,
alebo ktorú sme
we
dostali,
saw that 9/11
videli sme,
is connected to 1683.
že 9.11 má prepojenie s 1683.
Siege of Vienna.
Obléhanie Viedne.
It doesn't look like the start, it looks like the end of the siege.
Nevyzerá to ako začiatok, ale skôr ako koniec obliehania.
It's not the 11th, but it's the 12th.
Nie je to 11., ale možno 12.
But there is a connection.
Ale je tu nejaké prepojenie
There's a prophetic connection.
prorocké.
There's a time element.
Je tu aj časová zložka.
People connect the attack in Lebanon
Ľudia prepájajú ten útok v
with the
Lebanone.
beginning of the attack of 9/11.
Útok v Lebanone prepájajú so začiatkom toho útoku, ktorý sa uskutočnil 9.11. 2001.
1863,
1863.
This is the Holy German, perhaps you call it holy, the German Empire.
Toto je nemecká ríša.
Yeah. I was going to call it the Holy Roman Empire, but it's not Rome. This is Germany.
To bolo Nemecko, nie Rím.
Germany is the army of Rome in this history.
V týchto dejinách Nemecko bolo armádou Ríma.
Someone give me the date for Luther.
Viete mi dať dátum, kedy bol Luther?
70. So this is about 150 years later.
Asi o 150 rokov neskôr.
And Islam makes a catastrophic misjudgment.
Islám urobí taký katastrofálny súd, alebo nesprávny súd.
They think
Myslia si,
the Roman Empire is weak, and it's not as weak as they think.
že rímska ríša je slabá a nie je taká slabá, ako si myslia.
And therefore observers connect this story to what we call 9/11.
A tí pozorovatelia tento príbeh spájajú s našim 9.11.
So now we've all got the event, maybe we need to do a bit more research.
Teraz máme všetci tú udalosť, musíme ešte spraviť taký lepší výskum.
So let's see if we can reconcile the 11th and the 12th.
Pozrime sa na to, či vieme sa vysporiadať s týmto, že 11. a 12. septembra.
And let's see if we can know what is in the mind of Al-Qaeda.
A tiež, či môžeme vidieť, čo je v mysli Al-Kaidy.
Okay, so we've come to the end of our class.
Hodina skončila.
Tomorrow we'll review and move on to this line at the top here.
Zajtra si to zhrnieme a prejdeme sem na túto líniu. Poďme sa pomodliť.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you.
Drahý nebeský Otče, ďakujeme Ti.
We pray that you would guide and direct us.
Modlíme sa, aby si nás viedol a chránil.
Bless us, we pray in Jesus' name.
V mene Pána Ježiša.
Amen.
Amen.